Nofollow on internal links. The nofollow microformat is a robot exclusion protocol that applies at the element level and prevents PageRank and anchor text signals from being passed on to the linked pages. The HTML element that nofollow applies to is the A element. Some SEOs use the nofollow attribute, believing it will prevent the indexation of the linked to URL. Often we find statements similar to nofollow the admin, account, and checkout pages to prevent these pages from being indexed. Such statements are not accurate because nofollow doesn't prevent crawling nor indexing. In this screenshot, you can see how search engines react to nofollow according to Wikipedia. Matt Katz, who worked as the head of web spam team at Google, says that Google doesn't crawl nofollow links, and here are his words. At least for Google, we have taken a very clear stance that those links are not even used for discovery. However, Google's content guidelines documentation states something different. How does Google handle nofollowed links? In general, we don't follow them. Notice the "in general" mention. A test I performed some time ago with internal nofollow site-wide footer links showed that although it took about a month, Googlebot, MSNBot, and BingBot did crawl and index the nofollow links. Yahoo Slurp was the only bot that didn't request the resource. My recommendation is to use nofollow not as a method to keep search engines away from content, but just as a secondary method for preventing crawling. If you nofollow links that search engines previously discovered, those links may still be indexed. Also, if external links are pointing to the nofollow URLs, they will be indexed as well. You will often see the nofollow tag applied to links such as shopping carts, checkout buttons, account logins, and so on. A few years ago, nofollow was used to funnel PageRank to important pages, a tactic named PageRank sculpting. However, nowadays, the vast majority of SEOs know that PageRank sculpting with nofollow no longer pays off, and many e-commerce websites stop nofollowing internal links. However, some continue doing it, as you can see in this screen cap. Instead of nofollowing links like the ones in this image, a better approach is to consolidate them into a single page. This is because when you nofollow a site-wide URL like terms of use, you take that page out of the internal links graph completely. This means that the page will not receive internal PageRank, but it also means it will not have any internal PageRank to pass. The previous example brings us to a more important issue: nofollowing links in the primary or secondary navigation. Depending on what links you nofollow in the primary navigation, you could be making a big mistake. It's important to know that PageRank is a renewable resource, which means that it flows back and forth between pages that link to one another. According to the original formula, the PageRank metric uses a decay factor between 10 and 15% at each iteration to avoid infinite loops. Let's say that page A is the home page and it links to category pages B and C from the primary navigation menu. To simplify, let's assume that pages B and C don't have any external links pointing to them. This diagram is an overly simplified flow of PageRank, but the most important thing to understand is that page B and page C each return PageRank to page A, which increases the PageRank for page A. Let's see what happens when you add rel nofollow to the link pointing to page C in the primary navigation. When the nofollow is applied, page C stops sending internal PageRank back to page A because page C doesn't receive any internal PageRank to pass. When I researched examples for this topic, big names such as Toyota surprised me by using nofollow in the global navigation. You can see in this screenshot how they nofollowed all the links pointing to car models such as Yaris and Corolla. At the time of the research, PageRank was still publicly available. Back then, Toyota's homepage had a PageRank 7, and the Yaris page, which is a nofollow link in the primary navigation, had a PageRank 5. The PageRank 5 was mostly due to the large number of external links rather than to the internal linking flow. This screen cap shows how the Yaris page gets a lot of external backlinks from more than 2,500 domains. However, the situation was different on jtv.com. This time, the categories linked from the primary navigation didn't get many backlinks from external sources. So, while their homepage had a PageRank 5, all shop by type pages had a not ranked PageRank. Because the shop by type pages were linked from the primary navigation, they should have got a decent amount of authority, at least PageRank 3. The nofollow attribute on primary navigation links doesn't mean that those pages will not show in SERPs. As a matter of fact, they were all cached by search engines at that time. Also, using nofollow on those links doesn't mean that more PageRank was passed to other follow links. What it really meant is that the authority of the nofollowed URLs in the primary navigation was significantly reduced. If some links are not important for users, consider removing them from the navigation altogether. Not every category needs a link in the primary navigation menu. If you want to send link juice only to specific links or pages, here are some alternatives to nofollow. Have fewer links on the linking page. Move important links to prominent places. If you don't want to pass link juice to certain links, make them undiscoverable for bots. Block search engine bots from discovering overhead links. Keep in mind that nofollow is not a solution for duplicate content. Because nofollow is incorrectly used to prevent indexing, it may also be incorrectly used to prevent duplicate content issues. However, adding nofollow to links is not the best approach for controlling duplicate content. Since nofollow is not 100% crawling and indexing fail-proof, how can it be used to prevent indexation or duplicate content?